Yeah. Yeah. Shalom, shalom. Think that's Papa.
Testing.
What's this?
All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, first and foremost, you'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kodash. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to you, Akim, out there pushing the truth in love and sincerity and in charity with all humility. Okay, this is GMS Bahamas Andrus. Okay, so yeah, man, we once again out here to bring you the word of truth. Okay, the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Okay, the word of whom this world called God, God and Jesus, whose name in the Hebrew, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, and whose son's name is Yahushai. Okay, so yeah, man, hey, stay tuned. Okay, because the Lord put His Spirit upon His prophets. Okay, to bring out edifying lessons to feed you, to cause your spirit, your faith to be built up even more. Okay, what the local news only can give you washed down. Okay, they can give you something tampered with and tampered more. All right, but we can give you the truth. All right, okay, we can give you the numbers. All right, we can give you that said Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so yeah, man, hey, the Most High is doing a good thing, a beautiful thing in the earth today. All right, just yesterday, they had another earthquake. Okay, another earthquake. I think this in either Thailand or one of them other places out there in the east. Okay, killing about 200 people. Okay, right now. All right, the scripture tell you in Matthew 24 that hey, this is gonna happen. Okay, and that just shows you too that our Lord, okay, Yahweh Shai is near. Okay, because He told His disciples, look here, when you see these things happen, know that the end is there. Okay, and then you have over there in the DR. Okay, that roof or that ceiling fall in the club.
Similar.
All right, killing them. Okay, right, the helicopter crash in the Hudson River.
It suddenly lost its tail. At the back part.
Right, hey, so all these is judgments from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, because we know that His judgment what cometh every morning. Okay, now the Christians love to say, "Oh, you can get it on Judgment Day," but not knowing that the Lord bringeth His judgment every morning. Okay, every day. All right.
It's like if I cut you off, right? When I see him though with what happened over there in the DR Dominican Republic with those Simeonites with that roof caving and falling on a lot of them. You know, it's the death toll started from 18 and ranged up to over 200 days. 220.
Yeah, can over
That's pure
200. Right.
judgment from the Lord early hours of the morning. And guess what? They was in the house of feasting, right? I get a quick precept.
That's it.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to heart. You see that? It's better to go to the house of mourning. We in the house of mourning right now. That's true. All right? Than to go to the house of feasting. When you look at the word feasting, some translations say party, having a good time. It says that is the end of all men. All right? So a lot of these people, them people was partying, having a good time, and guess what? They don't know where death was. The Lord is right there.
That's it.
That angel was right there.
Done. That's it. You know. You know. These words go out forth out of the mouth of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It will not return unto him void.
Okay, so these words that come before my mouth, they should not return void, but accomplish whatsoever is desire, and succeed in the manner for which it is sent.
Done. All right, shalom, shalom on the common board. Yahweh Shai Barakatam. All right, so yeah, man, the Lord is doing a great thing. Okay, we soon out here. All right, you got it, bro.
God, and that's the most I put inside my spirit. This spirit was inspired also by something that recently happened. Amongst brethren. We lost one of our beloved brethren. And that hit me hard. Because it's one thing to speak to a brother over many waters, but it's different when you actually met with them, fellowship with them face to face. And the scripture says we have to show a pattern of good works. So the last one the most I put in my spirit, is how will you be remembered? You see? Because the brother was a beautiful brother, man. Diligent. Diligent in the teaching of the word, you know, diligent in the way how he conducted himself among brothers, and again, as the title says, how will you be remembered? Not only by those left behind in your passing, but even more importantly in the kingdom to come. You see? How the world remembers you and how you will be remembered in the kingdom, is two completely different things. You see? Because the world remember you as you were, and in the kingdom to come, it'll be as you are. You see?
God,
In the world, it said you only have one name, right? And you ought not to let it be tarnished, right? Though, that's partly true, because you also have a name in the spirit. You see? How the world know you and how the spirit know you, two completely different things.
God,
You see? Because my brothers and those who I go on highways and the byways, they know me by a name. And then the world, they knows me by another name, but the world don't know me by this name. You see?
God,
God,
The world will know that Yahweh Shai.
God, they
Right?
did. God. And the thing about it is that although the world may not know me by this name, the world may know me by this action. You see? Because the action that you portray, in the spirit, is what the world will know you as. If you portray wickedness in the spirit, the world will consider you a wicked man. You see? If you portray righteousness in the spirit, the world will portray you as a righteous man. But even though, they in the wicked world, the righteous is seen as wicked. Right? Now watch this. Your name have to be unspotted from the world, right? More so in spirit. Reason being, right? We call ourselves by the name Qam Yasharahla, right? Qam Yasharahla means what? Sons of Israel, right? So in the spirit, we are named after the Lord, right? Get that precept from Allah.
This is Second Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. If my people who are called by my name, okay, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, okay,
God,
and forgive their sins.
God, read that again for me.
If my people who are called by my name,
God,
okay,
my people who are called by my name, Qam Yasharahla, sons of Israel, right? We are called by the name of the chosen of the Most High. That ain't no light matter. To be called a son of the living power, to be called a son of Yahweh Shai, that ain't no light matter. Because we were chosen over many nations. Many nations were made, but only one was chosen. We were chosen. And to be called by that name is no light matter. In fact, when you think about it, it's a blessing only afforded to us and no one else. You see? The scriptures is given to us, nobody else. The blessings that come along with it was given to us, nobody else. You see? And the works set forth for us, coupled with our faith, will follow us. You see? When you think about it, the works what you do right now, right? Now I can bring out a precept earlier, Ecclesiastes 9, and I think chapter 10. It goes into you bring that up for me, Malak.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 10. It says, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, no knowledge, no wisdom in the grave whither thou goest.
God, bring it over one more time, Allah.
This is Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, no knowledge, no wisdom in the grave whither thou goest.
So whatever you find to do it all thy might. Do it to the best of your abilities. You see? You have to, whatever you set your hand to do, whether it, no matter how small the matter may seem, no matter how small it may be, you have to do it to the best of your abilities. You see? Because the most I see is, man may see it as though, you ain't doing, you could do more. But as long as you're doing your best, the most I see is that.
It's a lock, and again, another precept to back you up. This Romans 12 and 11. Not slothful in business, fervent in the spirit, serving the Lord.
Done. Serving in the spirit, doing your best. Right? When we remember, Titus chapter 2, verse 6.
Gone. This is Titus 2 and 6. Young men likewise exhort to be sober minded. God, verse 7. In all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works, in doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity, sound speech, that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you.
Done. So we must show a pattern of good works, not lazy work. You have to show a pattern of works that is incorruptible and can be condemned. We have to show a pattern of works that is acceptable to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We have to show a pattern of works that is seasoned with salt to the Most High. You can't expect to have a meal and it bland. It ain't gonna be savored. It ain't gonna be savored. Your works have to be seasoned with salt to the best of your abilities. You see, you may have a person who don't know how to cook, but if they try to the best of their abilities, with time they'll improve as long as they're doing their best. But if they just giving lackadaisical effort, how can you expect to improve? Right? How will you be remembered? You see? And all these lessons were brought out. Me first and foremost started with myself. There's a lot to be improved on. As well as all we are him, all of us, think within ourselves there's more that we could do for the Lord, more that we can improve on. You see? But I'm sure many of us and many of the men out there, they doing the work to the best of their abilities. You see? Because when you think about it, none of us are perfect. None of us. No, not one. You see, but the fact of the matter is that we try our best to do what we are instructed to do what we were allotted to do to the best of our abilities. You see? Now when you look at history, right? When you look at how things was, good works is remembered in history as glory, and lazy works is remembered as shame. You see? Let's get an example of that. Let's start off with James chapter 2 and verse 21 to 23. And after when we get first Samuel 15.
God, this is James chapter 2, verse 21. God, verse 21. Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he offered Isaac his son upon the altar? Seest thou how faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect? And the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed the Most High, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of the Most High.
God. So through the works of Abraham, he was called a friend of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He's called a friend of the Lord. You see? And that happened many years ago, and even to today, His works, his works is remembered as righteousness, and we still speaking about it today.
Seed and his seed and all those that are, walk according to his,
God.
his belief.
And that's how he was remembered. Abraham was remembered as a righteous man. Abraham was remembered as a friend of the Lord. You see, because of the works, because of his faith, and his works that went along with his faith. Right now, that that was a works that was as remembered as a perpetual glory. Right now, let's get the flip side of that. That First Samuel 15.
This is 1 Samuel 15:3. Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass.
God, and this account is talking about Saul. Right? This was the instruction given to Saul. He was supposed to go down, wipe out that nation. He wasn't supposed to leave nothing alive. No dog, no cat, no sheep, no oxen, no man, no woman, no child. Everybody he was instructed to kill. Right? Jump to verse 9.
Verse 9. But Saul and the people spared Agar and the best and the best of the sheep and of oxen and of fatling and of the lamb and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile and refused, that they destroyed utterly.
God, get verse 15.
Verse 15. And Saul said, they have brought them to the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen, and to sacrifice unto the power thy unto the Lord thy power, and the rest he have utterly destroyed.
God. So we see in verse 3, Saul's instruction was to kill all of them. And now we see in verse 9 and 15, he decided to save the best, to offer as a sacrifice to the Lord. Right? Now, if you remember the scripture, it says obedience is better than sacrifice, right? So Saul thought, he was doing a good thing, saving the best of the things to offer as a sacrifice to the Lord, saving these things to, in his mind, he may have been saying, well, these are the best things I can offer these as a sacrifice to the Lord. He thinking he doing a good thing. He thinking he doing a good deed. But that was not the instruction given to him. He was instructed to kill them all. He wasn't instructed to save the best and offer a sacrifice. You see, a lot of times you may be doing things and you thinking you're doing the right thing and you think you're doing it for the Lord, but that was not the instruction given to you. Your instruction was to do this. You decided to do that. And because you decided to do that, the Most High take his spirit away from him. You see? Get 1 Samuel 15, get verse 19 and 23. 19 to 23.
This is 1 Samuel 19:23. Wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse and said, send me David thy son, which is with the sheep.
15, 19 to 23.
15. Oh, that's good.
All right. Shalom on the common part. Y'all, but you know, Chai Barakatam.
1 Samuel 15, verse 19. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the power, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord. And Saul said unto Samuel, yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the power, thy unto the Lord thy power in Gilgal. 22. And Samuel said, had the Lord as great delight in burnt offering and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than to sacrifice, and to hearken than to and the fat of ram.
God, you see what the scripture say? To obey is better than sacrifice. If he had obeyed the word of the Lord rather than doing his or going on his own free will, things went differently. But that had to happen in order for David to get the throne. You see, a lot of times these things happen, because of disobedience. When you heed not the word of the Lord, the only thing would you get met with at the last end is destruction. You see?
Gone. Like yeah. The brother yeah, spiritual of Act 144 posted Proverbs 16:7. When a man ways please the Lord, he make it even his enemies to be at peace with him. All right. That's it.
Verse 23, this is 1 Samuel 15, verse 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he had also rejected thee from being king.
Done. So now we see how the work of Abraham is remembered versus the work of Saul. You see, Abraham is remembered for perpetual righteousness. Saul is remembered for disobedience. And what happens for disobedience? You see, it only take when the Most High speak, it only take one moment for him to cast you off. But the Most High could give you many chances, and the Most High can also just give you one. You see, when he speak, you ought to listen. Me and the Ark was talking when we was coming up. Sometimes the Most High speaks in grandiose style, and sometimes he just sends a subtle whisper. But that's how we always have to be in the state of mind or in the spirit to always be willing, always be cognizant to hear the words that the Most High speaking. You see, because when you look at it, right, the faith that you have is justified by the works that you do, right? Now watch this. If you have no works, how is your faith proven? How can you prove your faith without any works? You see, you must show a pattern of good works, no matter how small. You see, because small works doesn't necessarily mean small faith. You could do a multitude of small little things, but that don't necessarily mean you have small faith. You see, it takes great faith to have a consistent pattern of good works. If you have great faith, you would have a consistent pattern of good works, whether the works be small or great, right? What I mean by that? Let's get Judges chapter 15. Instead of verse 14 and 19.
Gone. This is Judges 15 and verse 14. And when he came to Lehi, the Philistine shouted against him, and the spirit of Yahweh came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands. And he found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand, and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, with the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jaw of an ass have I slain 1,000 men. And it came to pass, when he had made an ending of speaking, that he cast away the jawbone out of his hand, and called that place Ramath Lehi.
Gone.
Uh,
So
down to 19, right? Gone. And he, verse 18, and he was sore athirst, and called on Yahweh, and said, thou hast given this great deliverance into thine hand, into the hand of thy servant, and now shall I die for thirst, and fall into the hand of the uncircumcised? But Yahweh cleave a hollow place that was in the jaw, and there came water thereout, and when he had drunk, his spirit came again, and he revived. Wherefore he called the name of that place En Hakor, which is in Lehi unto this day.
God. So now that's our account we remember, of Samson. We remember the mighty works of Samson, a great judge in Israel, right? How he alone killed 1,000 men with a jawbone of a ass. Among many of his other works. You see? His great deeds caused him to be remembered as a great man, you know, in history. But let me ask you this. How many remember Ehud? If you ask any of these Christians right now, who is Ehud? They can't tell you. You see? Only those who read these scriptures or who, understand who these people is. All right? So let's go into who Ehud was, right? Ehud was a left-handed man, and he slew the king of Moab. You see? He did he barely mentioned in the scriptures, but the act that he did was memorable in history, right? Even more so, if you ask the average Christian or the average person who Shamgar is, they can't tell you. You see? They know who Samson is, but ask them who Shamgar is. They don't know who that is. And Shamgar name probably get mentioned once or twice inside the scriptures, right? But watch this. Who Shamgar is, Shamgar slew 600 men with an ox goad. And an ox goad, weapon of war. Ox goad is what you use. It's like a modern day. That's like what you use, like a cattle prod, like what you direct the ox and take them with. He killed 600 men
Hmm.
with that. That's a mighty work. But he only is remembered. He only is mentioned once, right? But even though he is only remembered once, that doesn't make him any less. Does that make his glory any less? As Samson, when you think about it, right? How will you be remembered? You see, yeah, they didn't speak about him much, but the works that he did was still a glory within itself. The point being, right? Though though their names are not remembered for multiple works, once was enough for them to be remembered in glory and righteousness perpetually. The Most I only have to mention your name once for you to be remembered forever. You see?
Right, to get precept, right? And this is Sirach 44 and 1 to 2. It says, "Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begot us. The Lord hath won great glory by them through his great power from the beginning." Famous men is going to list the famous men when you read down in this whole chapter.
God.
You know, yeah, verse 45. 45, yeah. Go ahead, brother.
Ghana. So when you look at the grand scope of things, the Most High rewards faith with good works, coupled with discipline and consistency. The Most High reward those things. When you have a pattern of good works, when you have faith, when you be disciplined and you have consistent with it, the Most High reward those things. You see, because when you go into these hardships, you don't feel good. But once you keep the faith and you keep doing this work and you're consistent with it, the Most High reward you in there. Whatever you ask Him for, He can give you. And that's been proven. I'm sure all of us can attest to that. All of us been inside that state. Whereas we don't know how it can work out. But the Most High is make a way out of no way. All of us can attest to that. Once you're doing the work of the Lord and you consistent with it, the Most High has come true for you, but not only Salakia, not only what you do on the camera, it's especially what you do off camera. You may be a brother, you may be a person when you're inside the front of the camera, use this super duper Israelite or whatever you portray to be. But off camera, you're a nigga. You see? Off camera, you don't treat your brothers them with love. Off camera, you don't treat your brothers them with respect. Off camera, you don't call them or anything of the sort. But on camera, you portray yourself to be this thing. You see? Could fool the eyes of men, but you can't fool the eyes of the Lord. The Most High is the eyes of the Most High is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. On camera, you could be saying, but you hate adultery, you hate fornication. But off camera, you commit an adultery with another man's wife. You see, you committing fornication. On camera, you could be saying, but you going into these deep breakdowns, you going into this, you going into that. But off camera, you don't practice what you preach. How will you be remembered? In the eyes of man, you may be remembered as this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But in the eyes of the Lord, you, the Most High, sees you for who you truly are. That's how come we always have to be in the spirit. You see, you have to have a pattern of good works, and your good works will follow you even after you go. You see, I got one more account here, right? As they say, you know, you have to have discipline, consistency, faith, and works. All of them go hand in hand. And once you are called, it will be wise to listen. Like me and Doc was talking about them. Sometimes Moses speaks loud, and then sometimes he's sending you the little subtlest things. And it would be wise for you to listen to the words that the Most High is saying to you. Because it only is take one time for you not to listen for him to do away with you completely. You see? Let's remember, you know, an account where the word where, you know, they did listen. Let's remember Elisha, right? Let's start off with First Kings. Yeah, First Kings 19. Yeah, First Kings 19 and 19. 19 and 19.
First Kings 19 and 19. It says, so he departed thence and found Elisha, who was plowing the 12 yoke of oxen before him. And he with the 12, and Elijah passed by him and cast his mantle upon him.
Now, when you see that part where it says he cast his mantle on him, right? That was the indication that he was called to follow. If you look back in history, whenever a man would cast his mantle upon another, that's the indication of, hey, I take you on as my tutelage. I take you on to teach you, right? Jump up to verse 16, huh?
God, and the mantle for some Christians or anybody else, they would think that's a stick. Okay, it's like a cape.
God,
Okay, like what we have on,
like a garment.
like a garment, or like a better words, Superman. When you see Superman have that cape, that's a mantle.
God, God.
Verse 16, it says, and Jehu the son of Nimshi shall thou anoint to be king over Israel, and Elisha the son of Shaphat of Abel Meola shall thou anoint to be prophet in thy room.
God. You see that? The instruction was given. You see? And Elijah did as he was instructed. So when Elijah did what he did, Elisha listened. Elisha recognized the call. The Most High put the spirit on Elisha to realize and to understand what the putting on of the mantle meant. You see? And Elisha, he diligently followed Elijah. I think it was for 6 years Elisha followed Elijah, if you follow the history, right? And he never left his side. As long as from Elijah put that mantle on Elisha and tell him follow, he never left his side. He is diligent with it. He was consistent with it.
Right. And the last thing he asked for is for a double portion of his spirit.
God.
He said, if you see me get babe up, you get it.
God.
God,
And the thing is, right? If he wasn't by his side always, he wouldn't have been able to see him get beamed up.
right?
So that shows how diligent. And the scriptures say, when you come across a wise man, the steps of his door. That's what Elisha did with Elijah. You see, even Elijah, man, there was an account where even Elijah told him to tarry out of place, and Elisha tell him, "Quote, we nobody can't stay here. I gotta follow you." When they went into another town, Elijah tell him again, "Hey, I need you to stay here." Elisha tell him, "I can't stay here. I gotta follow you." And Elijah asked him, what can I, what can I do for you? Or what is it that you seek?" And Elisha, that's when I just brought it. Elisha asked for a double portion of what Elijah, and then Elijah said, "But you asked a hard thing,
Yeah,
you know, that's a hard thing what you asked." So the Most High already had that destined for that to be given to Elisha, because only the Most High could open your eyes to see a man get swept up by the chariots. You know how beautiful that sight to be. And when he gets swept up, what get left behind? The same mantle what was there with him from the beginning. And that's the same mantle where he took up and strike the water and the water part. So you see the amount of power the Most High put inside a mantle and they tell this up.
When the seek and request that is the Most High Spirit.
God.
That is the Spirit of the Most High.
Hey, guess what? Salakia. He didn't ask for money or none of that.
No.
He asked for double portion of spirit.
God. He asked for the spirit. He asked for wisdom. When you even read inside the account, right? You know, when he went back to the prophets asked him, let's just see, he said, where Elijah? You know, they thought, the spirit sweep of Elijah and carry him somewhere on top of a mountain or drop him in a ditch or something. They searched for him for 3 days, they didn't find him.
Mhm.
So what they say? Elisha tell her, I tell you all not to go, because the Elisha know what he saw. You see, and what he saw was unbelievable to them. You see? You see how diligently he walked inside this truth? In the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai will give you an everlasting name. You see? The name of the Lord, once you follow Yahweh Shem Yahushai in righteousness, it will give you an everlasting name. You see? Not only when you pass on from this kingdom, but when you pass on from this rulership, but when you coming into the next kingdom, that you will have that glow. Now, will your glow be a dull glow or will it be a shiny, a bright glow? It all boils down to what you do now and if you are the elect. Again, the precept of the bring out in Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and 10. Everything you do right now, you do to the best of your abilities. You might not do a lot, but do your best. You might not do something big, but do your best. You might you might only do one or two things, but be damn good at those one or two things. You see, I start with myself first and foremost. The ox they tell me whenever I go into my herbs, I may get into one or two things, but do it to the best of your ability. You see, if this the talent was given to you, do it to the best of your freaking ability. Because you may not go into this, you may not go into history, you may not go into this, you may not go into that. But if that's what you good at, do it to the best of your friggin' ability. Because at least that's something that you will be remembered for. You see, and that thing, and don't look at it as it's something minuscule, because something what you think may be minuscule with me in the world is somebody else.
Yeah.
Because like I say, we're dealing with the herbs. Right now, I may do a video on a herb, right then and there, okay, I do it to the best of my abilities. And tell a brother that may be a lifesaver to him. That may be the very herb what he needed to cure an ailment that he was going through. That's a glory within itself. The scripture tell you.
God,
Give glory to the apothecary that is given to him. Salakia.
through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Done. Good up.
This is First Corinthians chapter 12. We're going to start from verse 4 to 9, I think. 10. Now, there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administration, but the same power. And there are diversities of operation, but it is the same, the same God which worketh in all. Okay, but the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit with all. Okay, for to one is given by the Spirit of word of wisdom, to another this work of knowledge by the same Spirit, okay, and to another faith by the same Spirit, and to another gifts of healing by the same Spirit, okay, to another the working of miracles, and to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirit, and to another diverse kinds of tongue, and to another interpretation of tongue.
Done. Different gifts. So whatever gift you given, do it to the best of your abilities. So now, with all that being said,
Let me just go on to 11. But all these worketh that one and the self same Spirit, dividing to every man severely as he will.
beautiful. Huh? So now I pose the question, will you be close-handed when it's time to give? Will you be slothful when it's time for work? Will you be diligent amongst many distractions? Will you strive for the truth unto death? Will you answer the Lord when he calls? I ask this question once more. How will you be remembered? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Hey, so lock again one precept, right? How you will be remembered, right? And we read of the account of Ananias and Sapphira, right? How they was remembered, they was corrupt, right? Wife and husband.
God.
Let me show you the flip side of that. You know, you have to be blameless. All those famous men, they were blameless before the Lord, right? Let me show you an example of that, right? This is Luke chapter 1 and verse 5 to 6. There were in the days of Herod, the king of Judah, a certain priest named Zacharias of the course of Abiah, and his wife was the daughter of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. And they were both righteous before Yahweh, walking in the commandments and ordinance of the Lord, blameless. You see that? You see the balance?
Yeah.
All right. One was remembered for being corrupt, and one was blameless and righteous before the Lord.
God.
Even a husband and wife. That's crazy.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah. What I could say too is beautiful that you brought out the account with Ananias and Sapphira, right? You know, because the brother was going into having a good name and all of that, right? And he brought out the fact that the works that you do, um, um, if it's good works, then that leads to glory,
God.
And then if it's unrighteousness, it leads to shame. That's a good point you bring over with Ananias and Sapphira. They say, and that account with them, they'll always be remembered shamefully. All right, but no one, the brother ain't really talk too much about the glory, and there's many accounts. All right, if you could get uh, 2 Samuel 23 and 8. I haven't heard this account or brothers brought this account out in a while. All right, and all these accounts, all right, that the brother is about to read is a glorious account.
God.
Going into King David mighty men.
God.
All right, and obviously these were righteous men.
God.
Yes. Go ahead,
2
brother.
Samuel 23 and 8.
Yeah, we could read from 46 straight on.
God. 2 Samuel 23 and 8. These be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Tachmonite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adino, the Esnite. He lifted up his spear against 800, whom he slew at one time.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now the brother brought out Samson.
Yep.
All right, everybody know the account of Samson.
God.
What about this brother here?
God.
Ain't much people know about him.
Nope.
But in the kingdom, when we get that spiritual download, we getting all this history about the same time.
God.
You see? Right. Let's read on what this is a glorious account. All right, and this is something we want to be remembered by our good works coming out and prophesying.
God.
Okay? Read on, brother.
And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Ahite, and one of the three mighty men with David when they defied the Philistines that were there gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. He arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand clave unto the sword. And Yahweh wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil.
But you know what it is to kill till your hand damn get tired.
Boy, I'm telling you.
You see that? And that ain't normal.
God.
But I can tell you this. The brother read the account with Samson where the spirit of the Lord came mightily upon Samson. What do you think about these brothers?
Yep.
The spirit of the Lord was dwelling on was sitting on these brothers as they were carrying out these acts.
God.
All right, and these are all glorious works. All right, you think when we come out here on our own account, we are compelled by the spirit of the Lord.
God.
Same thing. The only difference is that's a physical act of with them fighting and what's not.
Right.
I mean, it's a physical act as well.
Yeah.
What that's coming out here.
That was physical battle, the spiritual battle.
There you go.
God.
Read on, brother. But there's more.
And after him was Shammah, the son of Agi, the Hurite. And the Philistines were gathered together into a troop, where was a piece of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. But he stood in the midst of the ground and defended it and slew the Philistines, and Yahweh wrought a great victory. And 3 of the 30 chiefs went down and came to David in the harvest time unto the cave of Adullam, and the troop of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in an hold, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David longed and said, "Oh, that one would give me drink of the water of the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate." And the three mighty men brake through the host of the Philistines and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink thereof, but poured it out unto Yahweh.
God.
You see that? All right, see what he do. The first thing he do, he pour a drink for Yahweh.
Right?
All right. So again, these are all glorious accounts. All right. Hey, this is beautiful, brother. That's beautiful that you go on into this, to that lesson. All right, now we could go and we could find the balance of this all day, but I think the point has already been made. All right, yeah, man. So when a part of good works, all right, so you being faithful, it's going to lead to glory. All right, but then when you do a shameful act or disgraceful act or unfaithful act, that leads to shame.
God.
You understand? And brother brought on the account with Saul to this very day. We damn dealing with that. Because you get we still got Benjamin Netanyahu to deal with. You see what I say?
Yep.
If Saul let down, put everything to death, we would not have to deal with.
You know?
You see? Yeah, man.
God.
You got it, brother.
God, that's it. That's it, brothers. Hey, the scripture did say, and their works do follow them. You know? So yeah, man, beautiful your part. Okay. So yeah, we wanna switch it up a bit. We can go into some prophecies. Okay. Screenshot. Or you trying to do? Yeah. Oh, you send it? All right then. All right. All right then. So yeah, man. This lesson the Lord put in my spirit to bring out. Okay, it's actually but few lessons. Okay, and I was gonna be too long with it. Okay, but yeah, man. First lesson being Babylon will fall. Okay. Now this is an article I come from. What I get from Natural News. Okay. So, but you could bring up that screenshot with Natural News.
None. It says natural news. The U.S. is the most lawless country in the world. Jeffrey Sachs, American economist, blows the whistle on daily misinformation coming from the U.S. government.
All right, gone. All right. So this news say the U.S. This Babylon. Okay, is the most what?
Lawless country in the world.
Most lawless country in the world. And guess what? We seeing it. Okay, we seeing it. All right, lawless. All right. Now, when you go into the word lawless, brother, you could look up that. Right?
Lawless.
Yeah, from the Google. Okay, lawless.
All right, the word lawless means not governed by or obedient to laws.
Not governed by or obedient to laws. Now, America, as we know, a proud country. Okay, they're lawless. Okay, and America known as Babylon. And Babylon means confusion. So if you lawless, that means you confused. Okay? It says, I think it's a more on that. Brother.
Characterized by a lack of civic order.
Gun. All right, a lawless region also where peace
Never took hold.
never really took hold. Okay? where peace never really took hold. So when you look at Babylon today, America, okay, crime happening every single day. Okay, murders happening every day, kidnapping. Okay,
riotous,
rioters.
seditious,
All right, that's some of the similars. All right, get some of them.
disorderly, rebellious, riotous, seditious, revolting, unlawful, illicit, illegitimate, indictable, corrupt, villainous.
Can villainous, because guess what? They have a flicking um um a base on almost every flicking country,
Warmonger.
Everywhere.
embassy everywhere. All right, so who's the villain here? And they go inside your country and invade it.
Take your resources and sell it
Lion
back to
itself,
you.
boy.
You say? All right,
That was just warmonger.
that's it. Not keep it at home, right? Okay. So aren't they the wicked proud with the Lord hates? All right, if brother could get that precept, Proverbs 6:16 to 19. Okay, because the Lord hates. All right, the proud. Okay, and these devils, as we know, they are proud as hell. Okay, check Trump right now. All right, man, if you listen to some of those social media and he talking, but he telling you by how proud he is. All right, he telling you how full of pride. Okay, he are.
Salaki, right? I saw a Salaki that you. I said one up post something on their page how he saying that he's a chosen from
Yeah, yeah.
he's a chosen.
Right, I tell you.
This, that's the most. I mean, I never seen no one with such a proud expression on his face and their face yet. This nigga is look like he is like God. You know, you got a persona of a God. He looking and you see him. You know, he like he don't have no regards or respect for no man or nothing.
Not because he
You
what
know,
he lifted up. All right,
so
he have that proud look exactly. You see, so he can act like that as well because the people have him to be so. You see, you remember before he got in office, okay, how they call him the yellow, the orange Jesus. Okay, now he's saying he's the one. Or he's the one. Basically, that's what he's in. All right, he come to save America.
mm-hmm.
All right,
American, what he said.
I'll bring the precept, brother.
This is Proverbs 6:16 to 19. Okay, these six things the Lord hate, yea, seven are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imagination, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren.
Done. All right. So aren't these things in Babylon? I mean, they all around the world, but mostly Babylon did displaying these type of acts, hey, on a mass level.
Yeah, then they all around the world because Babylon has okay, spread it out.
All
It's
right,
been dispersed from Babylon.
all right. So in this article, okay, we'll see how they expose these devils. Okay, all right. The greater they are, light. Okay. So yeah, brother, you could go back and bring that first paragraph.
This is the first paragraph in the article. It says Jeffrey Sachs, an American economist, says the U.S. is the most lawless country in the world.
In the world, right? They say in the world. So if you lawless, like I say, you confused. Okay? Because why? You have nobody to rule you. You don't go. You don't take no orders from this one, no orders from that one. All right. And then on top of that, you do what you feel. Okay, you have no law. All right, and that remind me of these Christians because the Christians say what the laws is done away with. You see, so they are lawless. Okay, and Babylon. Okay, okay, that spirit of Babylon is upon them. All right, read on, brother.
I regard the United States as the most dangerous country in the world by far. You cannot believe how much misinformation we get every single day because I have advised more than 100 governments around the world. I have seen things with my own eyes. I've seen US CIA coups with my own eyes. Governments lie, but superpowers make super lies. And if you're running the largest war machine in the world, you are going to lie. You are going to lie all the time.
Gone. Okay, so that part where it say by world by far.
Done. It says,
Read that same line from above, brother.
right? It says, I regard the United States as the most dangerous country in the world by far.
Gone. The most dangerous country in the world by far. All right. Now, if you listen to Trump, Trump big enough saying that they are the most powerfulest country in the world. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, Babylon. All right, is a powerful country. Okay, but now you have the weak say are strong now. Let the weak say I'm strong because the thing is what these little small countries them coming up with now. All right, Babylon can't shut them up. Okay, this is now Trump now is in office now. He's saying that okay, he's gonna take back this superpower that they once had. You see, so these little countries can't say nothing to them. You see, talking but when he was in power back in 2017, I think. Okay, whereas he telling Kim Jong Un, but he have a big button, he have a big red button on his desk, and his one more bigger than this. All right, so we know where these devils go. Okay, brother, get Revelation 17, 1 and 2, and 18, 1 to 3. Okay, because when they say by the that this country is the most powerful by far. All right, this shows that they spread their lies, their doctrines, their philosophies through the whole world, and basically the whole world is following them. All right, or the majority of the world is following them. Okay,
All right, this is Revelation 17 and 1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, and I will show thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
God, the inhabitants of the earth are made drunk with the wine of our fornications, our lies. Okay, because the article going into what a greater the country is, the greater their lies. You see, so what does America did? All right, she spread all her fornication all around the world. Okay, she sets her traps, her schemes. Okay, just to trap you. All right, that's exactly what she did. She spread abominations. Okay, the few years back, you had Kamala Harris came over here and other parts of the world. Okay, to basically tell the government for them to accept man and woman and woman. Okay, that's a part of you destroying a heritage. Okay, that's a part of you destroying you reprocreating. Okay, all right, better get that 18,
18 and 1.
1 to 3. Yeah,
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. All nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of a fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
God, see, for all nations have drunk the wine of her wrath of her fornications, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Okay, so they accept whatever Babylon they push out. Okay, whatever policies they come with. Okay, they are accepted. All right, and this is what made them strong. Okay, because they had the whole world behind them at one time. But now, all right, it gets so bad till they don't have that grip that they thought they had. So now you have Trump now, okay, is putting tariff this way and tariff that way, trying to get it back. You see what I'm saying? So now we having a trade war now, okay? And the act just posted uh something in the group this morning dealing with the Bahamas. Okay? And these people around here are people, they don't know what the hell is going on. You see what I'm saying? They don't know what's coming. Okay, and we have the tendency to like to say, yeah, well, that's over in them countries. Okay? As the saying say, when America feel like can sneeze, we get the cold. Or if America cough, we get the cold. All right, because why? We import 90% of our goods, our foods from America, which is Babylon.
And still banking on the same old tourism sector. And it said inside that same article that even the tourism sector is at jeopardy because some of the certain keys are out there. What they do is they bring in the cruise ships come in, they stop at those keys, they spend the money on that key, so that's only isolated for that one place, and the people get the crumbs. So that the funds from that don't even circulate throughout the community.
That's it. You see? All right. So hey, this place, all right, is gonna go down. Okay, for all the atrocities and wickedness and abomination she have done. All right. So let's go back to the article, brother.
Right. It says here, international conflicts are based on lies that are created to sell wars to the American people. We don't even know if Sleepy Joe Biden is mentally sound. So why is the government allowing Ukraine to shoot out our missiles under our training protocol deep into Russia to provoke World War III? What is the end goal there? Destruction of the world.
Go on. Go ahead, read on.
The U.S. government takes the same colossal risk with the health of the American populace. Just take, for example, the COVID pandemic, where millions of people unnecessarily died from the short kidney decimating reservoir remdesivir drug and the choke you to death ventilators.
Go on. The last let me see that, brother.
That's the third paragraph.
Yeah, yeah. Take it from the top.
It says here the U.S. government takes the colossal risk with the health of the American populace. Just take, for example, the COVID pandemic, where millions of people unnecessarily died from the shots, kidney decimated, remdesivir drug, and the choke you to death ventilators.
All right, God. All right. So when you look at it, it's more and more lies and deceits from Babylon. Okay. Do me a favor, look up the word colossal. Okay. Huh? Extreme would not be right.
All right, the word colossal means extremely large or great.
God. All right. So before all of this stuff happened, okay, many info came out against that. Okay, what the brother just read. Okay, plus all around the clock prophesying to our people. We all around prophesying. Okay, around the clock to our people, warning them from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, but they did not listen to him. Okay, because they didn't listen to us. All right, so they keep trusting in Babel. Okay, trusting in Babylon. Okay, trusting in man, trusting in Esau. Okay, you get that Jeremiah 17 and 5, and the brother can get Isaiah 36 and 6.
All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and 5. Thus said Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusted in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from Yahweh.
Gone. All right, so the Lord said, "Cursed be the man that trusted in man." Okay, so what they did, they trusted in that broken reed, in the staff of Egypt. They trusted in flicking Pharaoh, which is the president. Okay, and Isaiah 36 and 6.
This is Isaiah chapter 36 and verse 6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed, on Egypt, whereon if any man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him.
Gone. So is the president that all are trusting him because he's the one would flick give the order. Okay, so when the Jews first came out, all right, they came out after they only did it in 9 months. Okay, they didn't did information come out that they never really tested on humans. Okay, the human trials was when they give it to the world. Okay, that's when they test that, and that's when they realizing now that that America happened. Okay, SARS happened.
It's often.
You know,
But that's the thing. It is one of them. You don't think they ever know that's going to go happen?
man, that's it. Because their whole agenda was,
Depopulation.
you see,
So they know. They only feigned that they didn't know these things was going to happen. That like, oh, we didn't know. They ever knew these things was going to happen to us. They just sold it as it's the cure.
right?
They study Jake.
Yep, and they're making billions. You see how much money Pfizer make? Billions and billions of dollars of that. AstraZeneca, all right?
Rich get richer.
That's it, all right? So they trust in one who cannot save. Okay, let's get Isaiah 45,
Okay?
19 to 21.
Isaiah 45 and 19. I have not spoken in secret in a dark place of the earth. I said not unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain.
You see that? I said unto the seed of Jacob, all right? Do you seek me in vain? Because guess what? They them same said but go up inside the hard house, say they trust in the Lord. But then they line up in the hard house, receiving the juice.
Behold, here the dollars up there today.
Yeah, you say sin. So you ain't seeking Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in truth. All right?
Oh, but he nailed it out.
You know?
It says here, I have not spoken in secret in a dark place of the earth. I said not unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. I, Yahweh, speak righteousness. I declare things that are right. Assemble yourselves and come. Draw near together. Ye that are escaped of the nations. They have no knowledge that set up the wood of their graven image, and pray unto a God that cannot save.
God.
Tell ye and bring them near. Yeah, let them take counsel together. Who had declared this from ancient time? Who had told it from that time? Have not I, Yahweh? And there is no power else beside me? A just power and a savior, there is none beside me.
God. There's none besides Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So, hey, Babylon, all right, will fall. Okay, for all of the atrocities she had done. Okay, for everything that's going on, when you really look at it, Babylon have their hand in everything what's going on in the earth today. Okay, because the Lord set them up, all right, to take them down. Okay,
Still a marvelous work.
that's it. Okay, and though Trump is boasting and bragging, playing a proud luck, all right, is the reason why he carrying on like that. All right, because the Lord set him up to do so. Okay, man's going up Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so yeah, man, we can get into another quick article. Okay, whereas Esau exposes climate engineering. Okay, Esau exposes climate engineering, and thing about it, right? The thing about it is that this tie right into their 2030 agenda. All right, whereas they're aiming on mass depopulation. Okay, their end game, which is ultimately the chip. Okay, so right now when you really look at it, all of the forest fires that have been happening. Okay, the farming that have been happening. Okay, all of these are about bioengineered. All right, not bioengineered, geoengineered. It's a lot. Okay, so yeah, brother, you could read that headline on that. This some points. I think I would have set up.
Right. It says the natural news.
Yeah, from natural news.
It says natural news. Dean Bigington exposes climate engineering as all of weather and biological warfare.
Gun. All right, read that again, Baba Gasha.
It says Dean Bigington exposes climate engineering as all of weather and biological warfare.
Gun and all out weather and
Ideological.
biological. Right. So now, guess what? This person, he's the Edomite. Okay, this person is the Edomite, and the Lord did say, man, he will cause their tongue, all right, to fall upon themselves. Okay, you get that precept by Psalm 64 and verse 8.
And you know, Doc mentioned, you know, this is geoengineering, not bioengineering. And you know, geoengineering, when you think of geo, that's like geology, and that have to do with the environment. And geoengineering is intentionally intentionally on a large scale altering, you know, the climate of the earth, or a particular climate. So like how Esau has made those clouds to make it rain in certain places, or they utilize the harp their harp technology to manipulate the weather. That's a form of geoengineering, you know, just for edification's sake.
Gun. And hey, it's a lock here and think about it, right? The harp, we have looking harp right over here in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
Okay, and many people don't even know that.
you know, when you see everything go quiet, they gotta make a peak.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Psalms 64 and 8
Gun.
and 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
Gun. To make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. So now this dude now he's gonna give you a whole breakdown of this. Okay, letting you know how how it go. Now, brother, does I want to send you a screenshot with the AMPC translation?
Right. Right. Of Psalm 64 and 8.
Gun.
This Psalm 64 and 8, the AMPC version, it says, and they will be made to stumble, their own tongues turning against them. All who gaze upon them will shake their heads and flee away.
Gun. You see that? They make their own tongues to stumble. Okay, and that's exactly what happened now. Now Esau gonna tell you he's gonna break it down. Okay, going into the ecosystem, the climate, the health, chemistry, and so on. Right? Okay, so it's 5 points we're gonna bring out. All right, we'll get into to that. Right? All right, the number one being the aerosol. Okay, brother, you could bring out that.
God.
I think I sent you the screenshot with aerosol.
Yeah, that's stratospheric aerosol. That's what they call chemtrails.
Right. You want these talking points? What on this article?
Yeah, bring out the talking point first, or the first one,
All right. Then bring and look at
and
bring
then
out the
you could
meaning.
bring out the meaning of the aerosol.
It says Dean Wigington warns of large-scale aerosol spraying programs alleging deliberate harm to ecosystem, climate stability, and human health, contradicting mainstream chemtrail dis, dismi, dismissals as I said another word.
Uh,
Chemtrail dismissals as like you can't see the other word.
all right,
As jet exhaust, yeah.
jet exhaust.
Right.
Gone. Now let's bring out the meaning of aerosol.
Aerosol. It says a substance enclosed under pressure and released as a fine spray by means of propellant gas.
Propelling gas.
Yes.
Right. And this is the stuff what they release in the air. Okay, so all those lines, those chemtrails which you see would look like clouds. That's what they releasing in the atmosphere. All right. This is a part of these devils 2030 agenda. Okay, to kill 5 billion useless eaters. Okay, this has always been from what 60 years plus. Okay, they want a dystopian world with a handful of people. Okay, so their agenda is to kill off the useless eaters, meaning us. All right, and the poor of their people and the poor of these other nations.
Done. Speaking on chemtrail, right? I was on Facebook scrolling yesterday and I found something with someone post, right? Check this out. You speaking about chemtrails, right? They say the two metals consistently discovered in chemtrails is barium 56. It says Ba, right?
Right,
Then aluminum 13. It says Al. So what that goes back to? Baal.
Baal. Right. You see, so Esau, Esau Edom is cunning. Okay, he's crafty, and he have his shit together on the left hand side. Okay, he always deal with things like that. And not to go too much off, but when you see the Tesla, right? You take the Tesla logo and turn it upside down, and what you will see, the KKK, the heart of the KKK, with the two eyes cut out and everything. You see, so it's no coincidence that these devils they put their plans right in your face. They set their traps right in your face. Their schemes. Okay, but only the elect is gonna see it. All right.
And it's interesting that I brought out, some of the contaminants with inside those chemtrails. You mentioned barium, right? And barium is toxic to the human body because when inhaled, it could cause diarrhea, it could cause paralysis, it could cause respiratory problems, it could cause death. And that's just some of the things with that alone
Yeah.
affects the body with. You see,
Yep.
so it leads to say, when the C19 came out, right? And barium, it was a respiratory
Yeah.
disease, right?
Yeah.
So that telling you.
That's what you're breathing in. Okay, so when they say it start off with your throat being scratchy and all that.
No, no, it started off with bats. That's what it started off with.
Oh, I tell
Oh
you.
boy.
Let's get that Isaiah 57 and 20.
Done. It's Isaiah chapter 57 and 20. But the wicked are like the troubled sea when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt.
God, that's the wicked now being Esau Edom, according to Malachi 1 and 4. Right? Now let's get that in the ERV version, brother. We can come back to that.
Okay. You send me a screenshot?
Yeah, in the ERV.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you that. All right, but let's get that in another translation, in the other translation.
All right. This is Isaiah 57 and 20 in the BBE. But the evildoers are like the troubled sea, for which there is no rest, and its waters send up earth and waste. But the wicked are like the storm-tossed sea, for it cannot be still, and its waves turn up mire and muck. The ISV says, but the wicked are tossed like the sea, for it is not able to keep still, and its waters toss up mire and mud.
God, and he's saying, but wicked people or read that voice one with you with the
Evildoers.
yeah, the evil do it,
It
right?
says, but the evildoers are like the troubled sea, for which there is no rest, and its waters send up earth and waste.
God, all right. There's no rest. Okay, so these devils, you think they resting when time to do more evil, to do more wickedness?
Uh,
These devils don't rest, boy.
It says here, the NET says, but the wicked are like a surging sea that is unable to be quiet. Its waves toss up mud and sand.
God, all right. So they may be assuming to be peaceful, but are not. Okay,
War is in their heart.
war was in their heart. Just look at Babylon. All right, just look at them captains. Okay, their rulers. Just look at their speech. Always about killing. Okay, this is why the Mosai said this in this next verse, Isaiah 57 and 21.
Isaiah 57 and 21, there is no peace, said my power, to the wicked.
You see that? There's no peace to the wicked. The wicked being Esau, Edom. So don't mind Trump talking, but with peace. Okay. All right. Let's get Proverbs 4 and 16, and then a brother can get Isaiah 48 and 22.
This is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16. For I sleep, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall.
God. All right. You see that? And that's only happened to the wicked. Okay. Even the wicked of our people. Okay. But most of we talking about Esau, Edom. Okay. How he don't flick and sleep unless he done some mischief, unless he done an evil work. Okay. Because keep in mind, their whole thing is to kill you off.
They were
Okay.
evil on their beds.
That's it. All right. Let's get that Isaiah 48 and 22.
Isaiah 48, 22. There is no peace, said Yahweh, said the Lord, unto the wicked.
God, there's no peace unto the wicked, says Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. So don't mind him talking but peace. Don't mind Trump talking but peace. Okay. He can use that peace to kill you. All right. That's all it is. Okay. So we can go back to them talking points. Okay. You can read it, the second and third point as I want.
It says independent lab tests found heavy metals, aluminum, lead, cadmium, etc. on shielded surfaces, matching coal fly ash, a material linked to geoengineering patterns, proven intentional contamination. Spraying operations are tied to extreme weather manipulation, droughts, blizzards, and soil sterilization, killing microbes vital for agriculture and causing mass die-offs. Farmageddon.
Yeah, that's the third point.
Yeah, but that's in Firmageddon. That sounds like that comes from the word firmament.
Firmament, right? Coming from
Desolation of the land.
exactly. All right. So this is geoengineering. Okay, and what is geoengineering? All right. Uh, think I send you that too, brother.
Yeah, it says geoengineering. We did stuff about. It says here, geoengineering, the deliberate large-scale manipulation of an environmental process that affects the Earth's climate in an attempt to counteract the effects of global warming.
You see that? All right.
They try pretty it up out there.
That's it. But that's how they always go. They make things sound dead good and smooth. Okay. To trap you. That's it. They're all about schemes. Okay. And the scriptures say we are not ignorant of this devil's schemes. Okay. So this is designed to kill many of our people by way of drought and famine. Because if we can affect the climate, then it's going to affect your farms. Okay. All right. This is ultimately the Lord is doing because He has the power to cause it to happen. Okay. So you people can't escape what's coming. Okay. Let's get our second address 16 and 22. You can hold on that, brother. You come right back. Then you get our Sirach 39 and 29.
But many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Gone. You see that should perish. Many of them should perish from the famine. Okay. So with all this geoengineering and all this other stuff what Esau got going, okay, what you think gonna happen? Crops ain't gonna grow. You see?
And also with that prophecy in Genesis, the 4th chapter, the earth ain't rocking with this devil, you know.
That's it. You see? But the thing about it, this is the power of the Lord's vengeance. This is the power of the Lord's vengeance. Famine. All right. Get us Sirach 39 and 29.
Right.
Yeah. Put 28 then.
All right, Sirach 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance.
God. You see that? Famine is one of them. Okay. Is the vengeance of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay. Now we can go back to them talking points. We go to that fourth point, brother.
It says airborne pathogens, heavy metal contamination in food.
Pathogens, right? Now, I send you the screenshot of pathogens. We could bring that out.
And yes, it says pathogen. A pathogen is any biological agent such as a bacterium, virus, fungus, or parasite that can cause disease. In simple terms, it is a germ that can make you sick. Pathogens can enter through your body through various routes, such as breathing, contact with contaminated surfaces, or through wounds.
Gone. All right.
A lot of those pathogens are bioengineered pathogens as well.
Gone. All right. So once again, a design to kill you useless eaters.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now you could read that point again, brother.
It says airborne pathogens, heavy metal contamination in food, and links to Agenda 2030 suggests engineered crisis for control with microplastics infiltrating human organs.
You see that?
Some shit.
Engineered control. Engineered to control what? You see? To kill off. Okay.
Drinking poison.
And that's it.
Shoots. So like when you think about it, even the food that you cook, can you cook inside poisonous utensils? Because when you look at the pots they have now with that Teflon coating, that toxic.
Right?
Yeah.
You see?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even at one point in time, so you know, at one point we used to cook inside those cast iron, right? Even the cast iron pots have a coating where they putting over it now, like a powdered coating. Even those are toxic.
Right? I tell you. So this devil, he come up with many different ways just to take out the Israelites. Okay. Don't think that he don't know that we are scattered out through the four winds. He knows that. He knows that we are like the sand of the sea. You see, so wherever Israelites are, guess what? He's gonna be. You see?
God, Salaki, brother, not to cut you off. One of your brothers posted that in the group with the lady giving a certain name for pork, mono and glycerides or something like that. Salaki might pronounce it wrong, right? And that's another derivative of pork in our
Yeah,
food.
yeah. Can I saw it right.
Yeah, so we eating poison, you know, because that's a prophecy. How shall I say? We eat poison and live. You
And
know what I
live,
mean?
can,
Our food is defiled.
right?
We eating poison every day.
Can, right? Now, on the article, right? It have certain talking points he made, like the smoking gun lab confirming toxins falling from the skies. Okay, like metal, aluminum, lead, calcium, mercury, copper, nickel, and barium. Okay, so this devil coming with all types of shit just to get you. Okay, another talking point is intentional spraying. Okay, soil sterilization, weather manipulation, biological warfare. You see, and the end game. Okay, which we just read, control. Okay, is control through collapse. All right, brother. That should be on there, I think.
Last talking point.
Yeah.
It says over 35 U.S. states. This one is the last talking point.
All right. In more on.
It says in the children exposed, being Wigington, founder of geoengineering watchdog, has sounded the alarm. What he describes as a deliberate large-scale assault on Earth's biosphere through covered aerosol spraying programs. I know that's the one.
Or it's something on the fine print at the bottom.
No, no.
All right then. Okay, but the last talking point was their end game, which is to control through collapse. Okay, so Esau, Edom, okay, is the devil the Bible speaks of. All right, because we know that he's want to be in total control of this whole world. All right, he want to be Yahweh. Okay, that's who we want to be. All right, so he's gonna come with his devices. All right, the stick in your hand or in your head. Okay, I want to tell you when to eat and tell you when to take a shit. Okay, and tell you when to sleep. All right, he's want to have you like a robot. Okay, so if you take that, then you'll be hooked up with the Internet of Things or the Internet of Bodies. Okay, you'll be no longer you, but be
program.
a program. Okay, because if you know anything but computer software, all right, the hardware don't get upgraded much, but the software always upgrading. You see, so anything new, and you have this chip in you, he could always flick in upgrade you. You see, that's it. All right. So yeah, man. Brother, get Revelation 12 and 12, and Psalm 7 and 9. All right.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and he that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down to you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time left.
Gone. The devil is coming out with great wrath because he knows we have but a short time left. Okay, spraying the atmosphere. Okay, leads and all these other luminous particles coming down. Okay, geoengineering. All right, he have the hard device. He could make it. He can make land dry up. He could make it snow in places where snow never been.
Left on miracles, what?
All right. I won't be surprised one day we have snow over here.
Oh, yeah, I hear the other day.
Yeah. You always have an hail in Freeport,
Yeah, I hear them.
Yeah, I rule it.
you know.
And they had the rain inside the desert the other day, though.
Yeah, another right, you know. This devil he know how to make clouds. All right. And many people don't believe that.
Who was to say what other chemicals he be putting inside those cloud stuff? You know, boy, you thinking that's rain, but all the while that's chemical.
That's yeah, that's it. All right, let's get that Psalm 7 and 9.
Psalm 7 and 9. Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just. For the righteous power try the heart and reins.
God. So let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, boy. Okay, and this is our prayer. All right. But surely they're gonna come to an end. Okay. Because the Lord done said in Obadiah 1 and 18, okay, that he's gonna be destroyed and cut off forever, boy. Okay. So yeah, man, get one more. Okay. This one is Shilak Rayam, which is to send evil. Okay. Send evil to the wicked and 2/3 of our people. All right. If we brother get Psalm 7 and 9, the same precept where we end up with.
Done. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 7 and 9. Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just. For the righteous power tried the hearts and reins.
Done. All right. So send evil to the wicked. Okay. The wicked being Esau or Edom. Okay. And send evil to 2/3 of our people. Okay. Because they join hand with these devils. They join hand with the wicked. Okay. Let's shoot the Psalms 28 and verse 3.
Psalms 28 and 3. It reads, draw me not away with the wicked, and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts.
Done. All right. Our forefather King David said, draw me near, not with the wicked. Okay. These devils like to speak peace. All right. But if they get a chance to overthrow you, they will. You see what I'm saying? Because that's in them to do. Okay. Brother, we get Psalms 12 and 2 and Psalms 62 and 4. You can go back to that Psalm 28 and 4, bro.
This is Psalm chapter 12, verse 2. They speak vanity, every one with his neighbor, with flattering lips and with double heart do they speak.
Done. You see that? With flattering lips. Make it sound good. Okay. They make it sound good. All right. Don't mind them. Okay. Even 2/3 of our people, they are looking to capture you. All right. Psalm 62 and 4.
Psalm 62 and verse 4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, for they curse inwardly.
God. All right. The point being, they blessed with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Okay. And we know our people, they big on doing that. You know, you do little something for them. Oh, God bless you. You know, but the minute you turn your back, they really good with you. Okay. And that's just how they go. All right. We back to Psalms 28 and 4.
Psalms 28 and 4. Give them according to their deeds, and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their desert.
Can render them, render to them their
Desert.
desert.
Their just desert.
Okay. Hey, if brother go hold on 2 Timothy 4 and 14. Okay. Just as Alexander the coppersmith did. Okay. Give them their reward. All right. So send evil to them for the wickedness and thing that they are doing, for the wickedness they have done. All right, even Babylon. Okay, let's get that 2 Timothy 4:14.
It's interesting that same precept that says, "Give them their deserts." There's a saying. There's a saying that goes into just deserts, or get one's just deserts. That means to receive what one deserves, especially appropriate punishment.
Yep,
So give them the appropriate punishment.
that's it. All right,
The Second Timothy chapter 4 and like 4 and 14. Okay. Alexander the coppersmith did me much evil. The Lord reward him according to his work.
God. And why did the Lord reward him according to his works? This is why. Proverbs 28:5. Psalms
28:5. Because they regard not the works of Yahweh,
because they regard not the works of Yahweh, but Shem Yahushai.
nor the operation of his hands. He shall destroy them and not build them up.
Can. Okay. So this is why, all right, we say send evil to them. Because why? They regard not the works of Yahweh, but Shem Yahushai. Okay. They follow not the ways of the Lord. So therefore, send evil to them. Okay. All right. So we asking the Lord to send evil upon Babylon and 2/3 of our people. Okay. Send evil upon those troglodytes. Send evil upon those adulterers and adulteresses. Okay. Send evil to them gays and lesbians, to those trannies. Okay. To the evil, wicked, lying, and abominable people. Okay. Send evil unto them. All right. Let's get Psalm 55:15 and Psalm 57:7. And then we can close out with Revelation 18.
This is Psalm 55 and 15.
God. Psalm 55:15.
Okay. Yeah. Let death seize them upon them, and let them go down quick into hell, for the wickedness is in their dwelling and among them.
God. For wickedness in their dwelling and among them. Because why? They always dealing with wickedness. You hear a saying, say, but look here, why you always living in darkness? Okay? You're doing wickedness. Okay? All right? This is for 2/3 of our people. All right? We know Esau, the so-called white man. We know he's the wicked. We know we always doing wickedness. All right? Let's get Psalm 57:7.
This is Psalm 57 with 7. My heart is fixed, O Yahweh. My heart is fixed. I will sing and give praise.
Psalm 57:7.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, read that again, brother.
Psalm 57 and 7. My heart is fixed, O Yahweh. My heart is fixed. I will sing and give praise.
That's 6. Wait, 6, brother. Yeah.
Okay. They have prepared a net for my step. My soul is bowed down. They have digged a pit for me into the midst whereof they are fallen themselves.
Gone.
Into the midst thereof, whereof they have fallen themselves.
Gone. All right. They dig a pit for themselves. Okay. And not for us. All right. Speaking about these devils. Okay. So send evil upon Babylon, upon Esau, Edom. Okay. And bring her forth and let her burn. Okay. Let's get our Revelation 18:6-8.
Revelation 18:6. Reward her even as she rewarded you. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she had filled, fill to her double. How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. She said in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. But strong is Yahweh power who judgeth her.
Gone. All right. So bring her forth and let her burn. Okay. Say what? How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. All right. And that's our prayer to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay. To let her bring her forth and let her burn. Speaking about Babylon, America, and 2/3 of our people. Okay. And all the wicked else around the world. So yeah, man. Hey, Lord will. Those lessons was edifying. Okay. So yeah. Anybody know what it is? All right. So yeah, man. So with that, we like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash, Shalom, and the Ba'at Shalom.